"Get up, you're blocking everyone's way." The shout echoed through the night rain, sharp as a whip crack. The girl in the wheelchair hunched down, hands trembling, her wheels stuck in the metal grate. 3 young men laughed mockingly, one reaching out to grab. Her collar lightning flashed, another voice spoke from behind them. "Deep but steady, try touching her and see what happens." They turned around. A soaked construction worker stood there, eyes sharp as knives, whispering just one phrase. Come with Menno. One knew that this exact moment would reveal a shocking identity, one that would change the entire city's fate. Daniel Hayes was 36 years old, a single father who worked as an industrial machinery repairman. He had a lean, strong build and sad blue eyes that held years of quiet pain. His daughter Lily was 8 years old with curly brown hair, who stuck smiley face stickers on his lunchbox every morning before he left for work. Daniel lived in a small apartment where he kept the wool blanket his late wife had knitted before she died, unable to put it away even after 3 years. On that rainy night, he was walking Lily home when he saw a young woman in a wheelchair stuck at the bus stop, being harassed by several teenagers. Daniel intervened, immediately bringing her back to their apartment. Lily was instantly friendly, helping to dry the stranger's hair and offering her tissues. The warm apartment was a complete contrast to the cold, harsh night outside. The girl sat by their small kitchen table, drinking hot tea with shaking hands. She introduced herself only as Anna, avoiding any details about her background or family. In the golden lamplight, her eyes showed exhaustion, but for the first time in months, also safety that night, as Anna fell asleep on their small couch, wrapped in Daniel's wife's blanket. She felt something she hadn't experienced since her mother died. The feeling of being protected without conditions. Daniel sat in his chair, watching the stranger sleep peacefully. In his living room, something about her reminded him of Lily during her first days in kindergarten, vulnerable, trying to be brave but clearly carrying pain too heavy for her shoulders. The next morning, Anna woke to the smell of pancakes and the sound of Lily's bright laughter. For a moment she forgot where she was expecting to see her family's cold marble floors and silent hallways. Instead, she found herself in a tiny kitchen where a little girl was earnestly explaining to her father why dinosaurs would make terrible pets. "Good morning," Daniel said simply, setting a plate in front of her. "How do you like your coffee?" "I don't want to be any trouble." "You're not trouble. You're a person who needed help last night. Today, you're our guest." Anna felt tears she hadn't expected. When was the last time someone had called her simply a person instead of the heiress or the CEO's daughter or the girl in the wheelchair? Lily bounded over with her school backpack, immediately including Anna in her morning routine. "Do you want to see my rock collection? I found a really shiny one yesterday that looks like a heart. I'd love to see it." Anna said, surprised by how much she meant it. As Lily chatted about her treasures, Anna realized she'd forgotten what it felt like to have someone talk to her without an agenda. Lily wasn't trying to impress her, use her connections, or feel sorry for her disability. She was just being kind because kindness was her default setting. Anna, Lily said seriously, "Do you want to be friends? Because I think you're really nice, and nice people should be friends." "Yes," Anna whispered, her throat tight with emotion. "I'd like that very much." After Daniel left for work and Lily for school, Anna sat alone in their small living room, surrounded by family photos and children's artwork. Everything in this modest space radiated love and care. She pulled out her phone and stared at 17 missed calls from her father's assistant. Her family was probably frantic, wondering where the valuable asset had disappeared to, but for the first time since her mother's death, Anna wasn't ready to go back to being valuable. She wanted to stay here and just be human, a trace of authenticity. Lily slipped Anna a smiley face sticker before leaving for school, whispering, "This is so you can have a happy day too." That simple gesture broke something open in Anna's chest. No one had wished her a happy day in months. Everyone around her had been focused on her recovery, her therapy, her adjustment to her new reality. But this 8-year-old just wanted her to smile. Anna tucked the sticker into her wallet, where it would stay for years to come. The next morning, Daniel made a simple breakfast, while Lily chatted with Anna as if they'd known each other for years. Anna was moved by watching the father and daughter laugh together, mentioning their deceased mother with love rather than just sadness. She began to share her story. She'd been in a car accident that killed her mother, instantly leaving Anna paralyzed from the waist down. 9 months later, she discovered that her father, Marcus Vale, already had another woman in his life. For Anna, this felt like a devastating betrayal, not just of her mother's memory, but of everything their family had once meant. She'd left home unable to bear living in their cold, luxurious mansion any longer. Daniel listened, without interrupting, simply pulling the wool blanket up around her shoulders when he noticed she was shivering. Lily proudly showed Anna her paper boat labeled HOP. Anna laughed through her tears, remembering when she used to believe in such simple optimism. At the grocery store, Lily held Anna's hand and introduced her to everyone as me Dad's new friend. Anna was amazed. It had been so long since anyone had simply called her a friend, a trace of authenticity. Anna wrote quietly in her journal that night it turns out family atmosphere still exists somewhere in the world. The words felt strange under her pen. She thought that kind of warmth died with her mother, that she'd never again experience the simple joy of belonging somewhere without conditions or expectations, but watching Daniel and Lily together, the way they moved around each other with such natural consideration, the way they included her in their routines as if she'd always been there. Anna realized she'd been wrong. Family wasn't gone from the world. She'd just been looking for it in the wrong places. Over the following days, their friendship deepened in ways that surprised all three of them. Anna found herself looking forward to Daniel's return from work and Lily's excited chatter about school. She started helping with small household tasks, folding laundry, helping Lily with homework, preparing simple meals. These ordinary activities felt revolutionary to someone who'd grown up with staff handling every detail of life. "You don't have to do all this," Daniel said one evening, finding Anna drying dishes in their tiny kitchen. "I want to. It feels good to be useful instead of just managed. Is that how you felt before managed?" Anna considered the question. "I felt like a very expensive, very fragile face that everyone was afraid to touch but also afraid to let out of their sight. And now, I feel like a person who can choose how to spend her day." One afternoon while Lily was at school, Anna asked Daniel about his wife. She'd noticed how he spoke about her with love but without the crushing weight of unprocessed grief. Sarah was a pediatric nurse, he said, settling into the chair across from her. She had this gift for making scared kids feel brave. Even when she was dying, she was more worried about how Lily and I would manage than about herself. "She sounds wonderful. She was, and she would have loved you." "How can you know that?" "Because she always said the strongest people were the ones who kept their hearts soft, despite being hurt." "That's you, Anna." The simple observation made Anna cry in a way she hadn't since her mother's funeral. Not from sadness, but from recognition. Someone saw her strength instead of just her limitations. That weekend, Anna insisted on taking them to the local farmer's market using her own money for the first time in months. She bought ingredients for a special dinner. "I want to cook for you both," she explained. "It's something I used to do with my mother before cooking in their small kitchen." Anna felt connected to happy memories, instead of haunted by them. Lily helped by providing running commentary and sneaking taste of everything. "This is the best day ever," Lily announced during dinner. "We should do this every weekend. Would you like that?" Anna, Daniel asked more than anything. She replied honestly. After Lily went to bed, Anna and Daniel sat on their small balcony, looking out at the city lights. The sounds of traffic and distant music felt comforting rather than overwhelming. "Can I ask you something?" Anna said. "That night you found me. Why did you help? Most people would have just called the police or walked away." Daniel was quiet for a moment. "Because I saw what Lily would look like in 20 years. If something happened to me, and no one cared enough to step in. You saw your daughter in a disabled stranger. I saw a young woman who needed someone to remind her that she mattered. That's all any of us really need." Anna felt something shift in her chest. Not romantic love, not yet, but the recognition of someone who understood the weight of protecting the people you care about. "Daniel," she said softly, "I need to tell you something about who I really am." Before she could continue, he held up a hand. "Anna, I don't care if you're a millionaire or homeless. Don't care if your real name is something else or if you're running from something complicated. What I care about is that you're kind to my daughter. You help around the house without being asked, and you make us both laugh. But what if it changes things? What? If my real identity makes this impossible, then we'll figure it out together. But right now in this moment, you're just Anna who makes excellent pasta sauce and helps Lily with her math homework. That's enough for me. A trace of authenticity. Earlier that morning, Lily had asked Donato, "You want to plant sunflowers with my daddy? Says these flowers always turn toward the light." Anna had been struck by the innocent wisdom in that statement for months. She'd been turning away from light, hiding from her family, avoiding her old friends, shutting out anything that reminded her of the person she used to be. But watching this little girl's unwavering faith, that flowers would always seek the sun, Anna wondered if maybe it was time to stop turning away and start turning toward something brighter. One afternoon, a luxury SUV pulled up in front of their modest apartment building. Marcus Vale, the powerful CEO and Anna's father, emerged with 2 security guards. He was furious to find his daughter living in a construction worker's apartment, saying she was embarrassing the family. Anna screamed back, "Mother hasn't even been dead a year, and you already have someone else. You betrayed both her and me." Marcus paused, taken aback by her raw pain, but remained stern. "I'm trying to protect you. You're vulnerable like this. It's not safe here." Daniel stepped forward, blocking the doorway. "She's not vulnerable here. She gets to live as herself." The security guards moved closer, tension exploding through the small space. Daniel didn't back down, maintaining steady eye contact. Marcus left with a warning that he would bring her home by any means necessary. Anna collapsed, sobbing. "You see the CEO's daughter, but I still have nothing except this wheelchair." Daniel knelt to her eye level and replied, "No, you have the right to choose, and I'll be here if you need me." The confrontation shattered the peaceful bubble they'd created, but it also clarified what was at stake. This wasn't just about a young woman finding refuge. It was about the right to determine your own life, regardless of family expectations. That evening, as police cars patrolled their street and unmarked vehicles sat at the corner, Anna realized her father wasn't bluffing about bringing her home. "I'm putting you both in danger, sir," said, watching Lily color at the kitchen table, oblivious to the drama surrounding her. "Let us worry about that." Daniel replied, "The question is, what do you want?" "I want to stay, but I don't know if I'm strong enough to fight him." "You're stronger than you. Think you survived losing your mother, a life-changing accident, and discovering your father's betrayal. You're still here, still caring about other people, still capable of love. That's not weakness. That's incredible strength." 2 days later, Marcus returned with a different approach. Instead of security guards, he brought legal documents and Anna's childhood photos. "I know you're angry," he said, his voice softer than before. "But running away won't bring your mother back. She wouldn't want this for you, don't you? Dare use her memory to manipulate me. I'm not manipulating you. I'm trying to save you from throwing your life away on some misguided rebellion." Daniel listened from the kitchen, letting Anna handle her own battle, but ready to intervene if needed. "This isn't rebellion, Dad. This is me choosing to live with people who see me as more than a symbol of family legacy. These people don't understand what you need. They can't provide the medical care, the security, the future you deserve." Anna looked around their modest living room, at Lily's artwork on the refrigerator, Daniel's work boots by the door, the wool blanket that had become her comfort. They provide something you never did, the freedom to be imperfect. Marcus stood to leave, then turned back. "I'll give you 1 week to come to your senses. After that, I'll use every legal means available to bring you home after." He left. The apartment felt smaller, but also more precious. They all understood that this sanctuary had an expiration date, unless Anna was willing to fight. For that night, unable to sleep, Anna told Daniel about her growing suspicions regarding the car accident that killed her mother. There were things that didn't add up, she whispered in the dark kitchen. The other driver was never found. The police closed the case unusually quickly, and my mother had been asking questions about some of my father's business dealings right before she died. Daniel felt ice in his veins. "Are you saying you think it wasn't an accident?" "I don't know, but I've been too afraid to investigate. What if I'm right? What if my father—" She couldn't finish the sentence, but Daniel understood. The stakes weren't just about family control or personal freedom anymore. If Anna's suspicions were correct, her life might be in genuine danger. We need to be very careful. He said, if there's truth to this, we can't let them know you're investigating. Will you help me? Daniel looked at this young woman who'd stumbled into their lives and brought so much light with her. The thought of her being hurt, or worse, was unbearable. But we do this smart and we protect Lily above everything else. The twist revelation changed everything. Anna wasn't just a rebellious heiress seeking independence. She was potentially a threat to powerful people who'd already killed once to protect their secrets as they sat in the pre-dawn darkness, making plans to uncover the truth about her mother's death. Anna realized she'd found something she'd never expected: people willing to risk their own safety for her. Not because of who her father was or what she could offer them, but because they'd chosen to love her. Daniel, she said quietly, whatever we find out about my mother, whatever happens with my father, I need you to know that these weeks with you and Lily have been the happiest of my life. They've been pretty perfect for us too, even if it gets dangerous. Even if loving me puts your family at risk. Daniel was quiet for a long moment, thinking about his wife's courage in her final days, about the example he wanted to set. For Lily, Anna, my wife, taught me that love isn't about avoiding risk, it's about deciding someone is worth the risk. You're worth it. Outside, dawn was breaking over the city, somewhere out there. Marcus Fail was probably planning his next move. The investigation into her mother's death would be dangerous and potentially devastating. But in this small kitchen, sharing quiet conversation and instant coffee, Anna felt ready for whatever came next. She'd found her strength not in isolation, but in connection, not in wealth or power, but in being chosen by people who saw her clearly and loved her anyway. The twist had revealed the danger, but it had also revealed something more powerful. She was no longer alone. Anna made the decision not to return to the mansion, choosing to stay with Daniel. And Lily, she began laughing more often, teaching Lily to draw, playing puzzle games, and sharing stories about her mother. Daniel repaired her wheelchair, adding better brakes, while Lily decorated it with smiley face stickers. The three of them planted sunflowers together on their small balcony. Anna watched them sprout each morning, marveling at their determination to grow toward the light. Anna established a small fund to help disabled children get wheelchairs and mobility equipment. Marcus gradually began to change, quietly sending money to support the fund through intermediaries. One evening, Daniel said, I don't see you as Aurora Vale, the CEO's daughter. I see you as someone who chose to stand up even though you can't walk. Anna cried. I'm not ready for something bigger yet. Can you wait? He replied. I could wait forever. The investigation into her mother's death moved slowly, but steadily. Anna accessed old financial records through contacts she'd maintained from her previous life, while Daniel used his practical skills to trace the accident details. What they discovered was both worse and better than Anna had feared. The accident had indeed been orchestrated, but not by her father. A business rival had targeted Anna's mother when she'd gotten too close to exposing a major embezzlement scheme. Marcus had suspected the truth but had been threatened into silence. His new relationship wasn't a betrayal of his wife's memory, it was protection. The woman was actually an undercover federal investigator, helping him build a case against the real criminal. She's been trying to protect me this whole time, Anna said, staring at the documents spread across their kitchen table, and I hated him for it. You couldn't have known, Daniel said gently. He should have trusted you with the truth. Maybe he thought I was too fragile to handle it. Maybe he was right. Anna, look what you've accomplished in the past few months. You left everything you knew, built a new life, created a charity, and helped solve your mother's murder. You're the strongest person I've ever met. The revelation changed Anna's relationship with her father, but it didn't change her decision to stay with Daniel and Lily. If anything, it reinforced her choice. I could go back now, she told Daniel one evening as they watched Lily play in the small garden. They'd planted. My father would welcome me home. I could have my old life back. Is that what you want? Anna watched Lily carefully water each sunflower, talking to them like old friends. My old life was beautiful and empty. This life is simple and full. I know which one I choose. The fund Anna had started grew beyond her expectations. Other wealthy families began contributing, and soon, They were helping dozens of children across the region. I want to do more than just give away money. Anna told Daniel. I want to create something that lasts, something that actually show society treats people like me together. They developed plans for an accessibility consulting business. Anna would use her business knowledge and lived experience to help companies and organizations become truly inclusive. You could revolutionize how the world thinks about disability, Daniel said, reviewing her business plan, not as something to be pitied or overcome, but as a different way of experiencing life that has value. 3 months after the confrontation with her, Father Anna had built a new identity, entirely separate from her family's wealth and influence. She was Anna Hayes now in everything but legal documents. A businesswoman advocate and chosen member of a family that had room for everyone. Marcus began visiting, regularly, awkward at first, but gradually learning to see his daughter as an adult, capable of making her own choices. The first time he saw her really laugh the way she used to before the accident. He broke down crying. I thought I'd lost you forever, admitted not just physically after the accident, but you the daughter who used to tell me about her dreams. I'm still that person. Dad, I just had to find her again, and you found her here with them. Anna looked around the modest apartment that had become home. I found her when someone saw me as more than my limitations, or my inheritance when someone chose me for who I am, not what I represent one evening. Marcus asked to speak with Daniel. Privately, I owe you an apology, he said, clearly uncomfortable with the admission. And more than that, I owe you gratitude. You gave my daughter back her life. She gave herself back her life. I just provided a safe place for her to do. It's still you could have taken advantage of her vulnerability, her wealth, her family connections. Instead, you protected her and asked for nothing in return. That's what love does. Daniel said simply, is that what this is? Love. Daniel looked through the kitchen doorway, where Anna was helping Lily with homework, both of them laughing at some shared jokies. That's exactly what this is. That night, Anna found Daniel sitting on their small balcony, looking up at the stars, thinking about anything in particular. She asked about how life surprises you. A year ago, if someone had told me I'd be planning a business with a CEO's daughter while helping solve a murder case, I'd have thought they were crazy. A year ago, if someone had told me I'd be happier in a small apartment than I ever was in a mansion, I'd have said the same thing. They sat in comfortable silence, watching their sunflowers swaying in the evening breeze. Thank you, Anna said softly. For what? For showing me that family isn't about who you're born to, it's about who chooses to love you, day after day, exactly as you are. One morning, Lily ran in with a new drawing. 3 people standing in a sunflower garden with the words underneath, my family's growing. Anna looked at the picture, and tears streamed down her face. This was what she had always longed for, a real family where she truly belonged. She whispered, if you both still need me, I want to stay. Not because I'm afraid, but because I want to. Daniel smiled warmly. Welcome home. Final scene. Early morning light streaming through the kitchen, Lily sticking another smiley face sticker on Anna's wheelchair, both of them beaming with joy. 6 months later, Anna's life had transformed beyond recognition, but in the best possible way. She legally changed her name to Anna Hayes and moved into a small house, 2 blocks away from Daniel and Lily, close enough to be part of their daily routine while maintaining her independence. Her accessibility consulting business had taken off. Beyond her wildest expectations, major corporations were hiring her to redesign their spaces and policies, not as charity work, but as genuine business improvement. You're changing how the world thinks, Daniel told her one evening. As they reviewed her latest contract proposal, companies are realizing that accessibility benefits everyone, not just people with disabilities. It feels good to use my brain for something meaningful, instead of just managing inherited wealth. The fund she'd started had helped over 300 children get mobility equipment, and several major medical manufacturers had begun developing more affordable options. Specifically because of her advocacy, Marcus had fully embraced his daughter's new life, even serving on the board of her foundation. The relationship between father and daughter had healed in ways neither of them had thought possible. I'm proud of you, He told her during one of his weekly visits. Not because of your business success or your advocacy work, but because you chose love over fear. I learned that from them. Anna said, watching Daniel teach Lily to ride a bicycle in the small park behind their house. They taught me that love isn't about what you can provide for someone else. It's about showing up day after day and choosing each other on a warm Sunday evening. The three of them sat on their front porch, watching the sunflowers they'd planted turn their faces toward the setting sun. Anna Lily said, leaning against her in the wheelchair, "Do you think you'll marry Daddy?" The question came out of nowhere, as children's questions often did. Anna glanced at Daniel, who was pretending to be very interested in a passing butterfly. "Would you like that?" Anna asked carefully. "Yes, because then we'd be a forever family, not just a right-now family. We're already a forever family, sweetheart. Marriage is just paperwork. But paperwork makes it official, like how my birth certificate proves. I'm really Lily Hayes." The wisdom in that statement made both adults smile. That evening, after Lily had gone to bed, Anna and Daniel sat together on their small front step, looking up at the stars beginning to appear in the darkening sky. "She's not wrong, you know," Daniel said quietly about the paperwork making. "Things official, are you proposing?" Anna teased. "Maybe I am." "Would that scare you?" Anna thought about the question seriously. A year ago, the idea of marriage would have felt like another form of imprisonment, but this felt like the opposite, like the ultimate expression of freedom. "It would have scared me before," she said honestly. "But now I think I'd like to be officially part of this family, even though we're not wealthy or powerful, or able to give you the lifestyle you grew up with." Daniel: "I grew up in a mansion and felt homeless. Now I live in a small house and feel like I'm exactly where I belong. You've given me something more valuable than any inheritance, the freedom to be myself." A year later, they had the smallest wedding possible, just the three of them, a judge and Marcus, who walked his daughter down the makeshift aisle in their backyard. Anna wore a simple white dress and carried sunflowers from their garden. Lily served as both flower girl and ring bearer, taking her duties very seriously as they exchanged vows surrounded by the flowers they'd grown together. Anna realized she'd found something more precious than all her family's wealth. A love that had chosen her not for what she could provide, but for who she had chosen to become. Final message: family isn't where you're born, but where you choose each other every day. With a real heart, if you believe in stories that touch the heart, like this one, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to Hidden Heart Stories. We tell the stories that shouldn't be forgotten. Real people are creating and telling stories, not mass-produced AI.